Well, welcome everybody to another episode of Super Geek Squad, and today we're going to go over some of the Wrestlemania matches from the last weekend and give you our thoughts on what happened and how everything went. But Colten, how you doing?
Doing good. I was sick for literally like all of this week up until yesterday, but
What is it with everybody keep getting sick?
I don't know.
My son just got over the flu again. He had like 104 temp for like 2 days.
Yep, I got all the way up to 103. So.
Oh my god! Like when you get sick, does your mom have to sing you "Soft Kitty"?
Yeah.
I could see you being Sheldon.
I lay in bed and I text everybody I know asking if they'll bring me soup.
Yeah. Operation Milky Green.
Yeah, I don't know. A few people I work with, they got influenza, and that's what we thought that I had.
Yeah.
And there's people that would come in through where I work and that stuff that ended up getting sick as well. So I don't know what it was, but yeah, everybody's just getting hit by something.
Yeah, and it was just crazy because my youngest, he just had influenza be like a little over a month ago. Mm-hmm. Of course, there's stuff going around school and all that, but
yeah.
But I was just like, holy cow! And I mean, I guess it doesn't help when you go from 45 one day, 70 the next.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I know too. It was only a few months ago that this clicked with me, and it never made any sense. But you always hear people talk about like, oh my God, the ice caps are melting, and all these diseases that have been frozen for millions of years or whatever are going to come out and plague the earth and blah blah blah. Which, now I don't know what diseases there are, but it's true that the viruses will freeze there, and when it gets unthawed, they come out. I never really thought of that here when spring finally does happen, why everybody gets sick, and it's because we had winter for half of the year, all these bugs and viruses that we had or whatever were stagnant, and then all of a sudden, overnight, our temperature jumps up like 70 degrees one day, yeah. All the snow melts, and then next week everybody's sick. Yeah. So I mean, it kind of makes sense, but it's the spring fever that's going on right now, basically.
Yeah, I would definitely say like everybody's a little jet lagged. So, did you have a chance to watch WrestleMania?
So I didn't watch it, but I've watched enough.
That is unacceptable.
I watched enough highlights and I've seen enough stuff on the internet that I probably know like 80% of the matches start to finish.
Okay,
but not the first one there.
Oh,
I know the chick with the black hair one.
The black hair one.
Yeah.
It's
so one's black hair, one's red hair. If you can't figure out the difference between the two, that's on you.
You don't know their names, but you know their hair color. What are you dating them?
No, well, you got a picture right there. The goth girl beat the Irish girl.
Oh my god! So, just to clarify, this match was night one. Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch.
See, Rhea Ripley, I remember that name because my friend's, if he gets any chance to, he's gonna ask her out.
So does he call it Rhea or Mommy?
Yeah. It's usually Mommy Rhea.
So that was for the Women's World Championship. Mm-hmm. All in all, I thought it was a good match. However, I'm a big Becky Lynch fan. I knew it was a 50-50 chance of the championship changing hands because Rhea's only had it a year, and she's really dominant. Like, she's blowing up right now. Mm-hmm. And so as much as I wanted Becky to win it because she's my favorite, mm-hmm. I wasn't surprised of the outcome.
Yeah.
However, the only thing I don't like, though, is how, and I hope they get away from this, is letting these champions that are dominant stay on top, but you only make them defend their title once every 2 months.
Yeah, that's true.
That to me is getting kind of boring. Like, I'm a big Roman Reigns fan, but I felt that how they did the championship reign for him was so ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Fans want to see titles defended, not every night, but
Well, you have. So what is it? It's usually like, is it like it's Monday Night Raw, and
Yep.
then I don't know when SmackDown is.
Friday.
Is it Friday? Okay.
Yeah.
So you have 2 shows. Obviously, people are part of different rosters, but you have how many titles? If you were to do like 1 title a week,
Yeah.
like that's like the highlight of the show.
Yeah.
All the other stuff is just people beefing it out.
Yeah.
If you have it like that, you're still going to be able to like spread it where they're not defending their own title every single week. They're going to have a few weeks in between and that stuff. And then if something does happen, something real big or whatever, okay, then you can push it where they defend it this week and then they're defending next week too because of something else.
Yeah.
You could push that to fit the agenda, but there's so many titles now that you can easily do that.
Yeah, and then they always say, "Oh, there isn't a worthy enough opponents." Oh, BS. There's so many people in the WWE that work their butts off.
Yeah.
That should get an opportunity. The problem is, well, it's not really a problem, but they're kind of getting back to the Attitude Era where they want to give the fans what the fans want.
Yeah.
Which I understand. However, you have to build a story to make sure your company makes a revenue on what the fans want.
Yeah.
So, even though obviously if it wasn't for the fans, there wouldn't be no WWE. So yeah, I mean, I just hope that change. I think they're going in a good direction. Triple H is kind of taking the reins, and it's getting more exciting. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the last 10 years has been kind of rough, but I'm starting to enjoy it again. So the next match, and I don't know if I'm going in exact order, but the next match on the list is the let's see, the 6-pack ladder match for the Undisputed Tag Team titles.
With my boy.
Yeah,
with my boy.
I was gonna say with the Hard Truth and the Miz. I knew that was coming. I didn't realize this until like 5 minutes into the match that they were finally gonna separate the tag team championships to the shows. So one set was for Raw, one for SmackDown, the way it should have been all along.
Yeah.
And so I was really, really happy when I seen that they were gonna split them up again, because this whole Undisputed Tag Team Champions, like, it just don't work. Not when you got 2 separate shows.
Yeah.
You
I
know.
get that.
All in all, I thought the match was pretty good, pretty exciting. I wasn't gonna lie, I was kind of expecting maybe Hornswoggle to come out from under the ring, but apparently I was wishing for too much there. But no, it was a good match. I like the hardcore they brought back to the match, from the old triple threat TLC matches they used to do back in the day, which were really crazy. And I don't care, you'll never top those.
Yeah.
You'll never top the Edge and Christian, the Dudleys, and the Hardys. You just never will.
Yeah.
And of course, there's got to be a damn heel team that has a belt. Of course, he let freaking Austin Theory and his butt buddy win the tag titles, whatever, But I was just glad he didn't let him win the other ones. But it was pretty damn hilarious when R-Truth sits there and does the John Cena move, and then he goes 1, 2, 3, and he thinks he wins, and Miz is like, "No, you got to climb the ladder, you idiot," So that, but I'm happy for him. He's like 52 years old, and he never had his WrestleMania moment. So I'm very happy that he got his WrestleMania moment finally.
When I used to watch, and both of these guys, the Miz included, when the Miz was around and that stuff, I hated that guy for the longest time. And dude, I'm like the type of kid where you just put bright, fun, pretty colors in front of me, and I'm like, oh, that's awesome, because I saw R-Truth walked up to him and he's like, "Yo, buddy," and I'm like, I like this guy.
Yeah.
So now the Miz is my boy.
Did you catch how R-Truth, he thought DIY was Shawn Michaels and Triple H?
Oh yeah, I've seen.
Did you catch their entrance when they came out? How they had like the X on the screen, and then they had the green and black trucks and stuff. The X, so they kind of threw that mimic in there a little bit. I was like, that's hilarious.
They also the one part or whatever where he jumped. I don't know which day this was on, because like I said, I only watched highlights of it. But when he thought that it's like the running joke, like he's a part of Judgment Day or whatever the group is called. Dude, I can't stop but laughing at that, because they're all like so pissed off at him, and he's like, "No, guys, I'm with you though," and he's just not.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a pretty exciting match. I did feel though, like in night one, some of the matches were really rushed. I felt like they were too quick.
Okay.
Because you could just tell, usually when a match starts, they kind of start out slow, doing headlocks, doing a few submissions, kind of working up to the finish.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell some of the matches, they just come out balls to the wall. Bam, finisher. Yeah. Doing all their crazy moves right off the bat. It's like, okay, they're trying to rush us like a 10-minute match.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, I know they got a lot to fit in one night, but
yeah, when you get so many belts, you get so many titles, you have so many people on the roster, so many fights now. Because I feel like there was quite a few fights though. Like I haven't watched WrestleMania, start to finish in a while, but for whatever reason, I remember it only ever being. I think it used to only ever be one night.
Yep.
And I feel like it was it wasn't that many fights. The fights just lasted a lot longer.
Yeah.
So I felt like what we have here or whatever, you've got 20 fights on that sheet almost, and that's a crazy amount.
Yeah, and they used to be just Sundays, and the last few years it's been 2-night events.
Mm-hmm.
And which is great. I mean, it's blowing up. Like this year was the biggest WrestleMania of all time. Like for attendance, sellouts all week long. Like it was crazy. So the next match I want to talk about is let's see, Rey Mysterio versus his son, and his partner was Andrade, I believe it was. And then, gosh, I can't recall the guy's name they fought. He must not be relevant.
All we care about is Rey Mysterio.
Yeah. Santos Escobar, thank you. And he was originally supposed to team with Dragon Lee, which I was really, really looking forward to. But I guess he had gotten attacked a week prior to that and got hurt. Now, I don't know if it was a real injury or if it was part of the storyline to have Andrade out there, because I'm feeling like Andrade might have a little pull now because Charlotte Flair, he's going out with Charlotte Flair, just saying hint, hint, But all in all, I thought it was a really good match. I will say I'm really getting burnt out on the Rey Mysterio versus his son saga crap.
Anything with Rey Mysterio is okay.
Yeah, well, my point is, he faced his son last year at WrestleMania to raise a deadbeat father, and Dominic's the bastard son, whatever, blah, blah, blah. They've been feuding about this for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, come on. Stop. Enough's enough. Like, either have them move on with the storyline and finish it, or have Dominic turn into a face and turn on the Judgment Day and go a whole different direction.
Yeah.
Because obviously his dad, Rey Mysterio, is probably getting ready to kind of start slowing down.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's still good, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It just, he's Hall of Famer now. He's getting up there. I mean, I'm really getting burnt out on the whole stupid Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio story.
Yeah, I get that.
And then, of course, that brings me to our next match, which this was really, really exciting. It was a really good match. It was Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. Now, I'm a huge Bloodline fan. It kind of sucked they had to both be against each other, but I'm not going to lie, I kind of went for Jey Uso more in this match because he's been getting this shit end of the stick for a while now from these guys. I thought it was a really good match, real exciting. Man, some of the things they can do in the ring, those two, Jimmy and Jey Uso, it's just crazy. I mean, they remind me of the Hardy Boys so much. It was just wild. And the emotion that come with the match of brothers and the bloodline and all this stuff, it's just glad it came to a head and possibly came to a finish now. So I mean, but that was a really good match. And I do feel that Jimmy and Jey Uso down the road are going to end up being world champions one day. I just see it coming. I mean, with their family history and their ability, I see good things coming their way. So, let's see. The next one was Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade Cargill, the new addition to the women's roster, versus Asuka, Dakota Kai, and whoever that other girl is. I'm so terrible with names; it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't recognize any of these people. I don't think I saw anything about this one, to be honest.
Oh, Neo Sky. Okay.
Yeah, I don't recognize them.
So anyway, this was like a 6-woman tag team match, 3-on-3. It was basically just kind of settling a grudge of Damage Control, which is these ladies right here, beating them up, jumping them, causing all these problems, screwing them out of stuff. And of course, to kind of introduce Jade Cargill to the roster.
Yeah.
And not gonna lie, that girl is jacked. Not gonna lie, but I did feel the story with it though was kind of a little rushed. Like I think that's something they could have drug out for a little longer. But I mean, all in all, it was a good match.
They probably just the reason why I probably felt rushed is just because of timing. Because I'm sure most of these now not all of them obviously, but I feel like a lot of times they use WrestleMania their big events to be the end of the story, right?
Right.
So they're here and that stuff. Yeah, maybe they could have got a few more weeks, maybe a month or two or whatever it was, but it's have it end randomly in May, or
right.
have it end on WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So
right.
That's probably why.
Right. There's definitely going to be bigger storylines and stuff coming. So next one was real exciting for me. Was Sami Zayn versus Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. I kind of knew going into this match, and hats off to Sami Zayn. He'd been working his butt off for the last 2 years to make a name for himself and try to go after championships. When he started dealing with the bloodline, before that, WWE were almost close to parting ways. They just didn't know where they were going to go. And all of a sudden, he started doing stuff with the bloodline and Roman Reigns. And next thing you know, it turns into a huge story, like beating the tribal chief and getting a team together to defeat him. And it just ended up blowing up. I mean, Sami Zayn just blew up. And then they finally said, okay, we're going to let you win a championship, which he deserves. I mean, he worked his butt off. And the Gunther-Sammy match was really, really good. I was dialed in the whole time. It was great match, great story. I was real happy that, they let Sammy win it, and because he deserves it. Now, I do feel usually when someone like Gunther, who's had the Intercontinental Championship for over 600 days, more than likely his next step is a world championship.
Yeah.
That's usually what happens. When they lose one of them, they're going to move up to a bigger title. And so, no, I think it's well deserved. I think Sammy deserves that championship. He worked his butt off, and it was a great match. And the fact that his best friend Kevin Owens met him before he went out of the curtain, and was just like, go get it done. That was awesome. So, yeah, that was a real exciting one to watch. I really, really liked that one. Of course, and then the main event of night one was Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins versus my guy, Roman Reigns, and The Rock.
Fuck The Rock.
Why?
I hate him. I used to be such a big fan of him. I hate him now.
You hate him now? Well, that's what they want, because he's a heel.
It was before even he came him coming back to WWE was so stupid. I don't care. I don't care if you're a fan. I don't care if you think it's a good idea. I think it's dumb. I think he is praised he's a good fighter, right? And he will for the rest of time go down as one of the greats. I don't know if he is in the Hall of Fame. If he's not, he will be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it at all. But the one thing that I hate is when these wrestlers, they put their wrestling stuff on hold to go do other stuff, always acting. And he did a rap song too. I don't know what that was about. Yeah, I don't know. It was not good. But they go do that, and then they get like this huge ego because they made it in Hollywood now, when nobody cares about how good they are at acting. They're just like, I like The Rock as a wrestler, so I'm gonna like him as an actor. He plays the same goddamn character in every movie, and it's not even that good of a character. And he comes back, and everybody praises him and that stuff. And I think a lot of his like ego comes from he's like, oh, I got all these fans and that stuff. I'm so popular. I'm so important. I'm so wealthy. And outside of wrestling, he sucks.
How can you say that though? Like you do know he is the main reason why they had the XFL come back.
I don't even know what that is. Huh?
It's a semi-pro football league for players that didn't get drafted that still have a chance to show their abilities to be able to get to the NFL.
That doesn't make him a good actor.
Now they joined the USFL, which is the United Football League, to make it bigger. And I'm just saying, man,
he's still not a good actor. Play a different character.
What do you mean? He's played a whole bunch of different characters.
He almost wears the same clothes in every role. Even he's always wearing his like cargo shorts and shit like that.
What?
Yeah. Go look up like all the movies that he's in.
You're telling me Black Adam?
Okay, Black Adam was a little bit different. Black Adam, he did do good. I'll admit, Black Adam, he did do well. But even then, Black Adam's still the same character. He just dressed different. He's just this macho man, like, oh, I'm gonna beat you up. I'm so much stronger than everybody else. Huh? It's literally just him being a wrestler on screen. You have other characters. You have like Batista, who has done a few different types of movies, where a lot of his characters are pretty similar, but there's at least a little bit of diversity, right? You have John Cena, who has been in a very wide range of movies, and not all of them are great, but majority of them are actually at least decent. Worst case scenario, decent. And he's playing a lot. He's played that macho role. He's played a comedy role. He's played like nannies and shit like that. Like he's played all these different roles, and I think he's doing an actual good job with it.
Yeah.
But he's diversified, and he's doing all these different roles, and he's doing a good job with it. The Rock is playing the character that has been his persona for like 25 years, and he still doesn't have it down right.
So are you just mad because he played Maui and you wanted to play Maui?
Yeah. Basically. They told me, oh, you can't do that. You can't wear glasses. Whatever.
You know the whole main reason The Rock came back was ticket sales.
I'm pretty sure.
And to push the company, like give him a boost, and you do know he's like part owner of WWE, right?
I think I've heard something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think as a performer, as a storyline, my hat's off. I gotta give him his props. Mm-hmm. Okay, he came in and he wanted to fight Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. You know, bloodline, big old story. You know, cousins, tribal chief, WWE title, and then Cody was gonna fight Roman Reigns or The Rock a different night, whoever won. And the fans said, "Oh hell, no, we want Cody." Mm-hmm. So they changed it up. They gave the fans what they wanted. I gotta give him his props on that. He didn't just come and say, "Oh, I'm the boss. I'm in charge. This is how it's gonna be."
I get that. And
he gave the fans what they want. So
like I said, he's got two. It's the same personality, but he's somehow splitting it in half amongst two things. It's his wrestling aspect of it, and like I said, when it comes to like the WWE and stuff like that, I think he's great. I've got no issues with him.
Right.
Yeah, he's starting to act a little bit over the top, I think. So, that's probably because of the Hollywood shit. But when it comes to his Hollywood stuff, that's what I don't like. I don't think he's not an awful actor. There's definitely many, many other ones that are far worse than him.
Yeah.
But he's playing the same generic role in every movie, and he's doing the same, story in every movie, and all these things are very, very similar. And by no means is, like I said, is he a bad actor or anything like that, but I feel like maybe it's not as much that I dislike him, it's that I dislike his fan base. Maybe that's what it is. His fan base is insufferable. I hate it, because they just always, he's like God's greatest gift to Earth, because of, and it's not even because of his wrestling or whatever. People will literally, I've got friends that are fans of The Rock, that when we literally talk about him, they will talk, when we're talking about wrestling, they will talk about, well, yeah, but he also does these other things, like he's in movies, and it's like, how many other actors or wrestlers are also actors.
Yeah.
And now, when it comes to wrestling, The Rock is one of the greats, so there's not many you can compare it in that aspect.
Yeah.
But when it comes to acting, majority of the wrestlers are better actors than he is. So I just, it's this weird disconnect that when we're talking about how good he is as a wrestler, and then you want to bring up his Hollywood performances.
Yeah.
They're two different things. That's two different topics. Like we can compare them eventually, but we're just talking about topic A right now, and they always want to bring up something else.
Right.
And that's what. So maybe it is that he doesn't bother me as much, but
I just think it's hilarious.
Sounds are stupid.
So you're a Cody crybaby then?
Yeah.
All in all, I mean, I thought it was a good match. Obviously, I was going for Roman Reigns and The Rock, so, you know, obviously went in my favor. I think everybody wanted Cody and Seth to win, but we all know the reason why he didn't, because they wanted a bigger build-up for night 2.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a really good match. I thought, you know, everybody performed really well. The story was great. You know, having those 4 individuals in the ring where you got The Rock, that pretty much was one of the main ones that started it all, to Roman and Seth, to now hand it off to Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a really good story, and I was happy with the outcome because, you know, I was Bloodline all the way, and so night 1 to me, all in all, was pretty good. It was a little rushed. I felt they kind of tried to cram too much into one night, but I mean, all in all, I mean, I give it a pretty good rating. So then, of course, they let us live in suspense and bring us to night 2, and so I don't think these matches are actually in order the way they're supposed to be. But so the first one on my list is Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. I already knew, as soon as they had CM Punk being on the announcer's table, I already knew how this match was going to turn out. Seth Rollins has been dealing with back problems, knee problems. Granted, I'll give him nothing against Seth Rollins. Excuse me. I'll give him his props. They made the they brought back the world title. They put it around him. He made it relevant. I'm going to defend this title as much as I possibly can. This is how a champion should carry a title. Defend your title. Be a fighting champion. Don't come and try to compete every 3 freaking months when you have a belt.
Yeah. So
I got to give him his props on that. I thought it was a really good match. Again, I thought it was right off the bat. I thought it was kind of a little rushed. I thought they came out and just started doing big finishers, like curb stomps, you know, freaking all that stuff. You know, Drew McIntyre doing his Claymore, like just it was balls to the wall right away, just bam, 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 bam. And I said as soon as they came out, I said I already know what's going to happen. Drew McIntyre's going to win, and then something's going to happen with CM Punk and Drew, and Damian Priest is going to come down and cash in the Money in the Bank and take the belt. And that is exactly what happened. As soon as I seen, you know, Seth Rollins show Drew McIntyre respect for a clean match, I seen him go over, yell at CM Punk. I thought it was hilarious when CM Punk said, I just hope you know, like, everything you're saying, I can't hear crap because I got these ear cans on, so you just keep talking. And then as soon as I seen CM Punk stand up and whoop, hit Drew McIntyre's legs, he hits the table, hits him with his arm brace, I knew it was coming. Damian Priest come down, cash in, he's a world champion. New era.
Yep.
You know, so, I mean, I knew it was coming, but it was still pretty good, pretty exciting, pretty good story. I'm really, really starting to really hate the Judgment Day. I hope they break them up soon because I just think it's stupid.
Unless they let R-Truth run it.
Oh my God! R-Truth is not going to run the Judgment Day.
He's a part of Judgment Day.
No, he's not.
Yes, he even said he is.
He walks up, I brought the titles back. I honestly think what's going to happen with Judgment Day, that a couple of the members are going to get jealous of Damian Priest now. Especially Ben Balor when he was the first ever Universal Champion. Okay, I think they're going to start imploding. Yeah. Honestly, I think it's going to start, and I hate to say it. I know R-Truth is your boy, but I don't see them keeping the belts for like a long, long period of time.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah,
he'll lose the belt. How are they going to take it if he lost it?
What the heck?
It's going to be at some random Walmart. He left it in the cart.
Yeah. Or he's going to treat it like 24/7 title. So on to the next one, where we got Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus what are they called again, Connor?
What's it called?
AOP.
Yeah, but it's the Final Testament.
Yeah, Final Testament. There you go. And I thought it was a decent match. I mean, the whole story is they've been jumping and fighting each other. I think their whole point in this match was trying to push Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits to be in a face now instead of a heel group. Mm-hmm. So I thought all in all it was a pretty exciting match. However, you know, I'm really starting to wonder now, since we're doing this new era, who's gonna stay and who's just gonna say, okay, I'm done. I've done my time. I'm out of here.
I mean, there's got to be quite a few people that are going to be stepping down sometime soon, because there's a lot of guys that have, not only have they been in the WWE for so long, they've been one of the faces of the WWE for so freaking long.
Yeah, because you got Bobby Lashley. I mean, he's not super old, but he's getting up there. He's still in really good shape, you know, but, you know, he's a guy that I think slowly going to transition his way to being at least done performing. He could help in the back or whatever. Street Profits, if they don't stick a tag team, I see them splitting them up and trying to do individual stuff with them. But all in all, I thought it was a really good match. Next up, LA Knight versus AJ Styles.
I don't know.
I love LA Knight. Okay, I think he's great. AJ Styles, I've been a real big fan of his since he was in TNA. You know, funny thing is when WWE bought WCW, AJ Styles was there, but WWE didn't want to pick up his contract. So we could have had an AJ Styles a long time ago. And that guy, don't get me wrong, he's a phenomenal performer. That's why they call him the phenomenal one. But that guy is just crazy. And I thought the whole point of this match to me is both these guys were trying to go after a world title. Okay. LA Knight, the fans wanted it. They were going crazy. Like, they were really, really pushing for... But the problem, I think, was they didn't have nobody really for LA Knight to face for a championship. They didn't have the storyline wasn't working at the time, and they didn't have available title for him to go off of. And you want LA Knight and AJ Styles part of WrestleMania. They're big names. Like, they draw fans, merchandise, I mean, whole 9 yards. So, you know, I felt these guys just said, hey, let's start a feud, take it to WrestleMania, and it's kind of the same thing. LA Knight, new guy, up and coming, AJ Styles, big face, like, been with the company for a long time, been in the business a long time, but even he said his body's starting to get to the point where he can't do this much longer. So I think it was another big feud, big battle, and here this guy's coming up, this guy's on his way out. But I don't know, I thought it was a pretty good match. I thought it was something that was kind of thrown in there, though, to kind of just fill a spot.
Yeah. But,
I mean, it was good. It was fun. It was fun to watch, and I hope LA Knight gets to go for a championship down the road. Because if my guy Roman Reigns decides to finally step away, I might be going for LA Knight because he's just cool. He reminds me of Stone Cold and The Rock just into one. I mean, he's really cool. And then the next match, you're gonna like this one because your favorite guy's in here. You got Logan Paul, that's your favorite guy.
Yep.
Versus Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. Mm-hmm. Weren't you so happy that Logan Paul kept the title?
I don't even. Yeah, here's what I'll say. I understand that they're trying to grow their company, right?
Yeah.
You want to reach a broader audience.
Yeah.
Now you have Logan Paul and the guy in the prime suit, ISO Speed. You have these two people who their audience from their platforms is a lot younger. So I understand that you bring them in, you try to draw in that younger audience, and then now you have a secured fan base for years to come, right?
Right.
But the issue is these two, ISO Speed and Paul, you've got a big container of water, right? And that's all the droplets are the WWE players and the company as a whole. But then you drop poison in there and you taint the water. Sure, maybe it's not an issue right away, but it will become an issue. Because both of those individuals have been a part of so many scams. Right. They've stolen millions of dollars from people. They unironically have promoted criminals.
Right.
You know, they have all these things or whatever. They're like, oh, we need to get these guys because their audience, you know, the entertainment that they put out on the internet is watched by many. And it's like, most of it is because people are like, when are they finally going to get caught? This ISO Speed guy has made some jokes about stuff towards women, live, no shot in hell. Any other person, done. They would be kicked out of the WWE for some of the comments that he's made. Yeah. Logan Paul, the amount of stuff that he's been a part of, and it's just all these things where I don't care how good of a fighter he is or whatever. Part of the reason why Logan Paul wants to be in the WWE is because he can't fucking stand that his brother is a boxer and is a better fighter than him. Yeah. So he's going for the only thing. It's just an ego thing. He's got money.
He wants to be relevant.
Yeah, he's got money, so he's using that money to push himself in so that way he can be more popular than his younger brother. Yeah. That's literally all it is.
Yeah.
And because he's got that fan base, that's why he's winning.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's going to, right now, I don't think it's an issue, but I genuinely do believe that if they keep these individuals like him in the spotlight, and people finally start to realize like who these people actually are, I don't think it's going to be good. I think they're going to have to cut them right then and there, and that possibly could cause issues because then you're building up these storylines around these people, and then you just have to get rid of them because of the stuff. I mean, this guy has stolen millions of dollars from people, and there's literally been the line where people were like, maybe we shouldn't do this because this is bad, you're not that type of guy. And his response is, and I mean, this is like actual, like, there's evidence of this is part of the court cases that are going on. He's literally like, you don't know me, I actually am that guy. And then he goes and he steals millions of dollars from people. Yeah. Like, when you have that type of person that you are promoting, eventually people are going to look at it and be like, this is some pretty shady shit.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, as a performer in the ring, I mean, he does some crazy stuff that I haven't seen somebody do for a long time. He is very athletic, he's a good performer. However, I understand you need to have a bad guy with the belt. He's always have a bad guy with the belt, and you have baby faces chasing him. You know, boom, fans love it. That's you know. However, I thought it was a really good match. I did. I thought the build up, everything was good. Excuse me. They brought tried to use brass knuckles, all that stuff. It was a really, really good match. However, what pissed me off the most, and I know Logan Paul hasn't had the belt very long, and I'm sorry, he shouldn't have the belt for a long time. You have two guys, Randy Orton in general, has been in there since 2002. Huge name.
Yep.
Big comeback at Survivor Series. And
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Okay. I think the main thing, he was supposed to be on the road to try to get one of the world titles. And they kind of just did this thing with him and Kevin Owens, where Logan Paul was attacking him, said, let's go kick this pansy bitch in the face. You know, quoting Cobra Kai. I'm just saying. So I still feel that Randy Orton or Kevin Owens, either one of them, should have won that title. And then you should have carried on the story with Randy versus Kevin at another pay-per-view. That's what you should have did.
I think that when it comes to WWE, from my experience of talking with people, if you want to talk about like iconic people, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
But if you want to talk about iconic moves, I think the RKO is the most widely known finisher of all of them. Everybody knows what the hell the RKO is. Maybe they don't know what it stands for, but they know what it is. They know what it looks like. Everybody's doing it all the time with their buddies just to screw around.
Yep.
Everybody knows what the RKO is. So, like, when you want to talk about, you know, you can have him in there, and if he loses, all you have to do is, if you're Logan Paul, and you give the title to Randy Orton, people are it's gonna blow up. It's gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
And then you have Logan Paul go on his media, you know, because he does a podcast and that stuff too.
Right.
He just goes on there, and he says that he is going to challenge Randy Orton again. That's going to build up hype. That's going to draw. If your goal is to get attention and you want to draw an audience and a crowd, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
But keeping it with Logan Paul, I feel like, yes, to a degree, you kind of like, as shady as it might sound, you kind of want to piss people off a little bit. Because then they're going to come back, they're going to want to be like, I need to watch this change. Like, it has to change. They're going to keep coming back.
Right.
But if you do it the other way, you still are going to be pissing off people.
Yeah.
But you're going to be making more people happy. You're going to be making more people. What are people going to watch? They're going to come watch Logan Paul defending his title? Maybe. There'll be people there, sure. Or watching Randy Orton defend his title from Logan Paul.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the better storyline. That's what people are going to want to watch more.
Yeah, because, you know, Rey Mysterio was the original champion. Mm-hmm. And Logan Paul cheated to frickin' beat him. Mm-hmm. So that's how he even got the belt to begin with. I get it. You're trying to build him as a bad guy. I get it. You know what? I would have rather you had Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio back then for the United States title and Dominic cheat to get it from his dad.
Yeah.
That would have made more frickin' sense to me than what the heck they're doing here.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, Kevin Owens is awesome. He uses the stunner. Stone Cold Steve Austin is one of my favorite superstars of all time. Mm-hmm. You're going to use the stunner, and yeah, I'm going to go for you because the stunner's a cool move. You know, and so I don't know where they're going with this. I'm sure they're going to keep building it and everything like that. But, man, Logan Paul, he just needs to get out of the picture. Like, you want to bring him in for appearances, fine. Don't put a damn belt on him. That is a slap in the face to every person on this roster, to every person that has been in this business, working their butt off to get to that point that Logan Paul is at. Why are you giving a social media person a damn championship?
Yeah. It would be a little bit different if he had been around longer, but he just, like, jumped. He just decided.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you can literally go back and, like, watch it happen. That he's, like, losing his mind because his brother goes on his podcast and hypes up and says, like, he's like, I'm a way better fighter than you. Like, I've gone and I've actually challenged legitimate people, blah, blah, blah. You've only faced, like, other celebrities, right? You haven't faced, like, anybody that's worth a damn.
Yeah.
And then, like, that moment, like, you can see him, like, he starts to fall apart. Like, he's losing his mind because of that comment. Then all of a sudden he goes to the WWE, and in such a short amount of time, I mean, I don't even know how long he was in the WWE before he beat Mysterio and took the title. I don't think it was
maybe
long at all. Yeah.
I think because he made a couple appearances.
Well, and see, that was, like, you know, he made, like, guest appearances, right? I don't think he was, like...
He did one match at WrestleMania against The Miz, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, and I don't think he was, like... I mean, maybe he was, but I don't think that he was, like, officially, like, on the roster very long at all. And then all of a sudden they gave him the title because of his following. Yeah. And... like you said, I feel like that's just, like, really disrespectful to a lot of people, and I just feel like it's just you can build him up and have him take a title, but I feel like to just drop somebody in and have them have a title right off the bat, I mean, you have people in that stuff who have been around for how many years who don't have a title that are so deserving of a title, but then you give it to this guy right off the bat because he's probably paying money for it, you know, he's probably getting his way because money talks.
Yeah. And obviously he's got his sponsor on the ring mat now, Prime. Oh my God, big deal. Like, man, he He drives me crazy. I hope they freaking knock his teeth down his throat. Like, for real. I hope they do. So next match was Io Sky versus Bayley for the WWE Women's Championship. This has been a long time coming. They've been wanting Bayley to turn face for a while. She's been a heel for quite a few years. She's one of the original 4 horsewomen that kind of started it all. Mm-hmm. I felt that they did right by letting her win the Royal Rumble and giving her the championship. It was a good match, don't get me wrong, and Io Sky was a good heel champion. However, I just think it was time to change. Mm-hmm. I think it's time to change the storyline. I honestly think that Jade Cargill, is going to end up facing Rhea Ripley because she's big, bad, and nobody can beat Rhea. Mm-hmm. I don't know who's going to face Bayley, but I think they did a really good job putting the belt on her. She deserves it. It was a good match too. So I was really impressed with the match. It was a good match to watch. Sometimes the women's matches are actually better than the men's. Mm-hmm. And so it was good to see her finally get her opportunity. And of course, it brings us to the last match, the biggest match. My guy Roman Reigns versus your guy Cody Rhodes. Mm-hmm. Wow.
That was a good one. That one I think I watched start to finish.
Yeah, that was a wild match. Of course, everybody was at my house. Mm-hmm. We're all mad at me because I was going for Roman Reigns, and they're fighting, going at it. And next thing you know, Jimmy Uso comes out. Jey Uso comes down to deflect him.
Yeah, tackles him off the ramp or whatever. That was badass.
and then. Cody always tries to do 3 crossroads finishers, and everybody's here is like yelling, "Don't do 3 every time you do 3, you get in trouble." Like, does 3, Solo comes in, bam, hits him. I'm like, yeah, all right. And they're like, he's cheating. I was like, no, we ain't cheating. It's like, it's bloodline rules. We set this. This is the way it's supposed to be. And then, of course, Solo gets taken out by John Cena.
That was badass.
Yeah,
dude.
that was.
I mean, I will say that while I was like that whole fight, like, I'm at the edge of my seat. I'm like, this is awesome. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is awesome. This is awesome.
Yeah.
But I feel like when John, like, ran at him, like, at the ropes or whatever, like, he jumped off the ropes before John Cena even got to him. Yeah. And I was like, that one was weird, but we're going to look past that.
Yeah. And usually John Cena slides in the ring, looks like he's getting a little up there. He can't do that anymore.
Yeah. As he's running, I'm like, while he's running, it's like showing behind him, I'm like, damn, he's getting old, and it looks like he might have just shit his pants. And I love John Cena, don't get me wrong, but he's getting up there too.
My oldest boy was a huge John Cena fan, and he doesn't watch wrestling a lot, just me and my youngest. Mm-hmm. And he was sitting here watching that match, and all of a sudden he heard John Cena's music, and he's like, his mouth just dropped. He's like, what the hell just happened? Yeah. I'm like, yeah, see? I was like, you never know. And then, of course, you get The Rock come out. I was like, all right, everything's okay. The Rock's coming out. Everything's going to go back to normal. They're like, no, you guys are cheating. I'm like, no, we're not. You just shut up. This is how it's going to be. Yeah. And next thing you hear,
the bell.
Undertaker.
Yeah.
I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like,
that was it.
And because there was a lot of hype that Stone Cold Steve Austin was going to show up and give The Rock a stunner.
Oh. And that would have been pretty cool too.
Yeah, that would have been. So.
The reason why I like The Undertaker so much is because, like, I don't know how much it's been shown, like, on television with Undertaker and Rhodes, but, like, they do have, like, a kind of a bond between the two of them. Like, they've Rhodes has talked about it many times and that stuff when he goes on podcasts and stuff like that, about how, like, The Undertaker has, like, gone out of his way to do things to help Cody Rhodes further his career and make him look better and stuff like that, especially, like, in the middle of matches and stuff like that. Yeah. So, seeing him come out to help him and that stuff, when I saw that, I was like, dude, it's just, like, it's like an unspoken bond in here and that stuff, and it's just, like, you don't think of it when you see The Undertaker, but he's coming there to help out a buddy, you know? And the Undertaker, you don't think, you look at that guy, you're like, he's got no buddies. He hates everyone, but he's got a buddy there.
Yeah, it was good. It was... don't get me wrong, I'm a huge Roman Reigns fan. Mm-hmm. you know, as a person, as a character, I got to tip my hat to that guy. I mean, you know, he played for D1 college football, and he signed with the Minnesota Vikings, undrafted. And he was really close to making the main roster, and that's when he found out he had leukemia. So, to be battling with that your whole life, and I think he's beaten it twice now.
Yeah.
And to accomplish what you have accomplished in the WWE from when that guy came in, like I didn't watch his NXT stuff, but when he came in with the Shield, I liked him from that day.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy's gonna be something good. And as a fan, it's hard to find a superstar to get behind because a lot of them weren't sticking around.
Yeah.
A lot of that, I hate to say, was because of Vince McMahon. But, so, he was my guy, you know. And to see everything he accomplished, I didn't like how he only defended the title every so often. I did not like that. But everything he accomplished, and now Seth Rollins coming out trying to hit him with a chair, like trying to do the Shield flashback. And, man, just everything in that match went from this is the era is coming to an end, the new era starting. And when I seen Seth Rollins actually real life limping, had to get help going back to the back, I'm like, okay, this dude is really beat up. Like he gave it everything he had. Like he needs some time off.
Yeah.
And so to see everybody come out, make it special for Cody and everything, like it was a very, very good night.
Yeah.
Like I was real impressed. I hate to see my guy lose the belt, but you know what, he's done enough. You know, and they say he might retire now. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you know that, whatever. Take some time with your family. Do what you want to do. You come back, great. If not, thanks for the memories. Because I mean, to hold it for that long, you just don't. That just don't happen. So it was a really good match, and I don't know if you watched the press conference, but when Cody Rhodes did the press conference, he had a gold Rolex on, and when he got to the back, there was Triple H and a couple other guys that was the watch that his dad, Dusty Rhodes, pawned years ago so Cody could go to acting school.
Oh.
They went, found the watch, got it, and gave it to him when he came back to the curtain.
Oh, wow.
I was like, holy crap, like this is real. Like it almost brought me to tears.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. So it's since Triple H has taken over and he's letting everybody kind of use their creative minds, kind of letting everybody kind of run with things like they did in the Attitude Era. That's where I say it's starting to get exciting. They're starting to let people use their ideas and not just put it all on the writing team. And they're starting to really connect. I mean, we'll have a story like Cody Rhodes and the way it ended, and find out that after his press conference, like, holy crap, okay, these guys really do give a shit. You know? And Vince McMahon, nothing against him, he did a great job, but it was time for a change.
Yeah.
It's a lot of superstars who are leaving because they were sick of his crap. I think they're going in a great direction.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be real exciting here on out. So, no, WrestleMania 40, big hits. Biggest WrestleMania of all time. Probably one of the most memorable WrestleManias I think I've ever watched. So it was.
I genuinely think that the main event, I feel like that will. I mean, who knows what the future holds, but I feel like as of right now, that is going to be considered as one of the best ones ever.
Yeah.
I feel like that fight, there was just. They threw in so many people, but they didn't make the fight about those people at all.
No.
So which is you have like such big you have The Rock, you have John Cena, you have The Undertaker, you have all these big names coming in.
Yeah.
But they're insignificant and don't matter at all. You can't pull that off often. Like that's just something completely unheard of. So like they did such a good job with it.
Yeah.
They came in there, they built the hype for it, and they were gone just as quick.
Yep.
You know, so it was something that I think a lot of people are gonna, they're gonna be like, this is one of the great fights. This was awesome.
Yeah, and you know the next night on Raw, I watched a little bit of it. I didn't get to go all the way through, but The Rock came out and told Cody Rhodes that you may finish your story with Roman Reigns, but you ain't finish it with me. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna see The Rock versus Cody down the road sometime. The Rock says he has to leave for a while, I'm sure, to finish Fast and Furious and to finish his UFL stuff, whatever you gotta do. He's obviously gonna be there behind the scenes because he's one of the damn owners. But I get it. So it'll be cool to see how that comes out. I think John Cena did show up. It was funny. It was R-Truth and The Miz were out there talking to Judgment Day.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're like, I got a partner, but you can't see him. Yeah. He's like, you talking about little Jimmy?
Yeah. The Miz is looking at him. He's like, bro, okay, we're done with the fucking around now. Like, we need to get serious.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be real exciting. I think it's in a good direction. I'm real excited to see where it goes. So, but with that, we're going to end it here. Thank you, everybody who joined in and listened. And if you could hit that subscribe button to us, and if you have any comments or anything you want us to talk about some or any questions for us, just let us know. Have a good one.